Tushar, how about some use case from your side? You're in a very different business, so would be keen to hear what you're saying here.
Okay, so before the, getting on to use cases, let me see where do we exactly fit as an organization in the digital universe. So we facilitate communication for most of the organization who are customer facing. And in fact, I completely agree with my fellow panelist, Mr. Marshall, that during Corona, during the pandemic, actually it was a dire need of reaching customer at every step of their need, while they're placing an order, where they want to ensure where is the my order right now, what's the status. So we basically are a cloud platform company which allow any consumer-facing organization to come up and integrate with our platform, which means that they want to reach out customer through any of their mode of communication channel. Can be a SMS, can be a a WhatsApp, voice, email, anything. Now, so what we would expect it to happen 5 years down, it actually happened during that during the pandemic. And a lot of interesting use cases actually came up during that period. From something happening in something on fintech, and somebody wants to understand what exactly happening to my transaction on which I've done with an e-com company, where is my payment debited, credited, or anything relating to that. I'll give you a couple of very, very interesting use cases. Now, during this period, a lot of the white goods manufacturing were facing challenges because, one, their service centers were down. They don't know exactly how to cater to the increasing needs of problems being faced by consumers who were using the brand, who were using the appliances. So we were able to put up a platform for them and a bot for them, which allowed them to interact freely with a bot. And at certain stage, where it was required to hand over the communication to a live agent, we were able to do that. Now, it was crisis because most of the call centers were down that time. One, of course, mobility was restricted. Not many people were actually attending. I'll come to another very interesting subject after this. So this bot helped them, register the inquiries. The users were updated regularly. When is the engineer visiting you? What all measures you need to take to ensure that the COVID protocols are taken care of. And then later, we in fact empowered most of the users, or rather the contact certain agents who were remotely working from the residences, to actually take calls, receive these texts, respond to these texts while they were located remotely, they are working remotely from their places here. So that's sort of, I hope that gives you a perspective here. Right.
Thank you, Tushar. Tushar, from your perspective, again, taking on areas for collaboration and areas where we can actually take us to the next level of digital, I would say, for in India. What might some of them be?
Sure. So look, we're doing a bit, to the economy, and I'll again take the liberty of quoting three use cases rather. So one is startup, So any startup which is setting up a shop, one of the biggest concerns they have, how do they actually reach out to the audience which is, relevant for them. We, with a single API, and when I say with single API, these startups can start reaching out and doing everything they intend to do through their CRM, through the databases for the end customers, and serve them in the way they want to. Second, which is increasing concern for us is fraud. A lot of you come across a lot of instances, where, money is being taken off your account, largely from people who are not so literate. So we're developing mechanism which will actually ensure that these are minimized. We have a product called mobile identity, which over a period will be able to identify any and give a trigger for any such test which is, in process. So that's one thing which is very, very interesting. We're still working on it, and hopefully we'll be able to launch that in some time, and I'm sure that will contribute to the welfare of people who are not so literate at this point of time. So these are things which we are doing, which sort of, I'm sure, will help the economy as well.
Thank you, Tushar. Tushar, over to you to start off with. Is there any thought? And firstly, maybe if you disagree to anything which the panel members have said, we are happy to take that on board. But apart from that, one thought for the audience here.
Sure. So one, we're just talking about applications and how they are actually cluttering the handsets, there's 100 things you want to do, with various OTTs or various partners or various brands. But is your phone good enough to actually accommodate those 50, 100 application? And as you know, the consumerism is on the up. You see more and more brands reaching out to you digitally. Now, how frequently would you want to have a application which you perhaps going to be using it once? So what is the way out for this? Now, you have a lot of, OTT chats, which are coming up with something very, very interesting, and we're partnering with them in a manner that if, let's say tomorrow you want to purchase something of a white good company or an electronic company, you just have to go to a search and put the brand name over there. And the brand name will appear over there, and you can start interacting with that brand for any need of yours. Starting from you want to make a purchase of a television, whatever a refrigerator, of your engineer has not turned up, you place a service request and it's not turned up. So all this, can be now centralized through a OTT app or perhaps through a mastered application, which will carry all these brands behind them. So this is one, interesting space which we're working on. We're very hopeful that we'll be able to put something through together to you guys. Second is, we want to be a key contributor to the growth of smart city and IoT. We want to play a role there in a manner that, any of these applications which are put across smart city or any applications which makes your home smarter will definitely need a channel for you to be updated about that particular item or that particular thing you want to use. And that's precisely, where our platform will come and play and will keep you updated exactly what's going on with that particular equipment that's making your, home smart, or that element of the smart city which actually help you in your movements, So that's a bit from me.
Thank you, Tushar.
Mr. Tushar Agnihotri, Route Mobile.